All right, hello everybody. This is lesson 6.3 on exponential functions, and this is just a tutorial to go along with some of the problems that you guys have. So we're going to get right into it. Starting with number 1, you see the directions say evaluate the exponential expression. I have the problem copied over here on the right side. So you're evaluating -12 to the second power. Obviously, if you're just squaring it, that means you're doing -12 times -12. That gives you 144. This is what you would be typing in the blank. And now we're moving on. Looking at number 2, once again, we have a simple, straightforward simplifying the expression. Is 4 raised to the -2nd power, which equals 1 over 4 squared. Remember that negative exponent just means that you change its position in a fraction. So we take it from being in the numerator, we put it in the denominator, and then we simplify the exponent that is there. So 1 over 4 squared simplifies to being 1 over 16. Number 3 says simplify the given expression. Now it is requiring us to do a little bit of the exponent rules, which tells us that when you multiply bases that are the same, you add their exponents. So in here we have a base of 2, we got another base of 2. We're multiplying these together. We're going to add those exponents, which is what this down here is implying. Looking at the work over here on this side, we go from 2 raised to the -7 times 2 raised to the 6 will equal 2 raised to the -7th power plus 6. So we just combine these two exponents together, and we end up with 2 raised to the -1st power. Again, we got a negative exponent. We change its position in a fraction. We end up with 1/2, and we're moving happily along. Looking at number 4, number 4 says to simplify the expression. Now we have another exponent rule. In this case, we're using the power rule for exponents, which says when you have something raised to an exponent raised to another power, you're going to multiply the exponents this time. So when we multiply these exponents, we have 3 raised to the -3rd, all raised to the -1st. -3 times -1 will give us a +3, and then we simplify 3 raised to the 3rd power, which is going to give us 27. Looking at number 5, it's just the square root of 81. That's as straightforward as it gets. We end up with 9. When you move on to number 6, now we have the square root of something that's raised to the 2nd power, but it has a -9 underneath here. Don't let that trick you up. You just use order of operations. You do what's all together. First, we're going to do this -9 raised to the 2nd power. That would give us 81, and then we'd be back to problem number 5, where we're doing the square root of 81, which is 9. So you do -9 raised to the 2nd power, you get 81, and then you take the square root of that, and you end up with 9 here. Number 7 says find the value of the given expression if x equals 4 and y equals -9. So we're given this expression. The first thing that we're going to do with 5xy to the -1st power, we're going to plug in 4 for x, and we're going to plug in -9 for y. And then we have a negative exponent over here. So the way that you simplify it, you can do 5 times 4, but you cannot multiply that times this -9 until you take care of this exponent first. So you can't do 5 times 4 is 20, and then 20 times -9. You have to change the -9 to the -1st power and apply that negative exponent rule, and then you have 1 over -9, and then you multiply it by the 20. So you end up multiplying across the top, and that is how your final answer results in being 20 over -9. And we have time for one more. So looking at number 8, it says find the value of the expression. It's another problem where you are plugging in the values for x and y. So here, this time x equals 6, y equals -3. You plug in 6 for x, -3 for y. You simplify it, we have 36 plus 9, and that will equal 45. And then we are moving on.